Welcome to the Iron Lord Podcast, episode number 10. And we are live in the building. It's good to be back. We have the usual suspects at the round table. A little smaller group today, but we just definitely happy to be back. Had some work out some kinks, but we're glad you guys stuck with us. But of course, the Lords are here. And I got my man, the excess gamer, the Lord that takes nothing less than the premium experience. My man, Lord King. What's going on, Lord King?
Oh, well, I'm live right now. Feeling real good right now. Just finished my Ace of Spades. Hello. Shout out to those. Right now, I can't wait for the topics that we have today. We're going to get real good with these topics. These topics is really good. But what I've been playing, everybody knows that I've been playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you're still trying to 100% that thing.
100%. It's very hard because that game is massive. So
I'm still gonna see how you're gonna do those Korok seeds.
I almost finished.
You are a savage with those.
I'm almost finished with him.
Nice. And of course, my brother from another mother, the non-aggro gamer. What's been going on with you, Lord Addict? Talk to the people.
Not much. I've been playing that. I can't remember exactly what that game's called. What's it called, Lord King? The hero.
Has Been Heroes.
Has Been Heroes. Yeah,
Has Been Heroes.
That game's hard. It's really hard.
So it was a little $20 jump off at the.
It's
it's 39. It's 39, right?
No, it's $19.99.
Oh, great. I need that game.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you can rock with that. Of course, it's me, Lord Cognito. Been all over the place. Obviously. We got a lot to talk about Destiny, so I dusted that off a little bit. Still been playing Andromeda, still getting a little bit of that in on the solo selfish time. Slowed down on Zelda a little bit. I think only what I was doing, I got caught up with some dungeon or something that was driving me nuts. But now I finally passed it.
Yeah.
So I was setting off on my journey into some sand world. Now, so a bunch of sand area. That's where I'm at now.
I know, so you're trying to go. The great beast over the sand area.
I think what happened with me is I got distracted with I've been doing some fairy hunting just to get the gear upgraded and stuff like that. So I got sidetracked with that. But other than that, just getting ready. And obviously we got a good show planned, so we're going to jump right into this. So obviously this was a huge news week. A lot to catch up on. But the first thing I know, Lord Addict might want to talk about that Destiny 2 reveal. And how the Iron Lords are talking some Destiny again. We got a lot of information. We got 2 trailers and some stuff. So, Lord Addict, talk to me about
gameplay disgusted.
We will get to that with Lord King.
How you gonna do that?
We will get to that.
How you gonna do that? How you gonna steal my thing? Just grab the reins. I was gonna let you run with it. Do your justice. Throw your arms in the air. Go for it.
No, but they obviously they did the teaser with Cade, and then they announced that 2 days later, which I thought that was kind of weird to have a teaser to a teaser. I don't think I've ever seen that. But we get the gameplay reveal. I think they said May 15th or something like that. So, obviously we knew this was coming. We all knew that Destiny 2 was coming. There's not really even a whole lot to even really, really go into besides, speculation, because we know what's going on in Destiny 2, but that's about it.
What was your Lord, let me ask you a question. What was your impressions like? Just seeing. Let's start first from the beginning. Let's start with the initial teaser trailer. Cade and Shop talk. What was your feel? Where
I actually kind of enjoyed that more than the actual longer trailer, because I felt like, that they both said what they wanted to, but I felt like the second one was more enjoyable. The first one was more enjoyable because we all love Cade. So
then I'll jump in on this too. I think let's start with that one with the teaser. I liked it. I thought having Cade and Nathan Fillion was a great choice. I think I will agree with you. I love the teaser trailer more than the initial trailer. We'll get into the initial trailer after that. It was just cool. It was just like, he's talking, he's got the drink going, shots of fire. He's letting you know how he's doing this thing. And shout out to Hunters. Hunters finally getting their shine right now. I know Lord Sinister, Lord Sleet, they're big Hunter guys, and they don't feel that the Hunters get love. But it's all about Cade right now. I mean, he's taking the shine right now. He's doing his thing. So I was really excited about that and to see all that dynamic. And then at the end of that, when I think Zavala's like, "Come on, Cade, get in there," he's like, "I just wanted to drink." I thought that was funny. So yeah, I was with that with the teaser trailer. Where was you at, Lord King, as far as just the teaser trailer when you first saw it?
When I saw the teaser trailer, I said, okay. I said, so these people are being fooled by these companies yet again. I said, here we go again with a company putting out some CGI crap to get the masses all stirred up. And here we go, CGI crap. And they're like, yo, did you see the new Destiny trailer? No, I saw CGI crap. So, like, where's the actual... Listen, this is what I'm saying. We have the technology now where you can actually did that in-game engine, run it with Cade doing the same banter, the same stuff, but run it in-game engine. The reason why they don't want to do it that way, because it's a whole lot easier to do it CGI. Now, this is where the letdown comes in, because when the actual game is released and he doesn't look a thing like what was in the trailer, then the masses are fooled yet again. And you know what? We got to suck it up because we want the game. All right, we're going to buy the game. Just give us exactly an in-game trailer so we won't be disappointed or have any form of letdown when the actual game comes out.
So let me ask you this, Lord King. Maybe that you are clearly not a fan of CGI trailers.
Oh, no. I've been burned too much.
We do recognize that this is called the teaser trailer.
Yeah, yes.
This is an introduction.
Okay, to your point.
To what's about to happen. Just to warm the people.
To your point. Teaser trailer. Okay, this is Tuesday. Coming on March 30th, we're going to release a trailer. So another teaser.
Now that, Lord King, I'm with you. And I'm going to get into that when we talk about I'm so with you on that. Now, with the initial teaser trailer, I was fine with that. I'm like, you know what? You're getting that out there. You're talking story, which is a lot of people had an issue with Vanilla Destiny, saying it had no story. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter, social media, they were like, yo, Destiny, okay. Now, where they lost me is they had a teaser trailer to another trailer. Now that I am 1000% with you.
Red flag.
I kind of, if you want my honest opinion, I think this was done at the last minute. I think these leaks were so severe that they was like, we can't. I don't think the first teaser trailer was ever supposed to be shown. I don't.
You think they jumped stuff?
I think they were supposed to. They were supposed to drop the second one later. And what happened was that trailer was so significant, and the leak was so crazy that they're like, maybe we should jump the gun a little bit because, like, let's be real here. There are certain companies out there that intentionally leak stuff, but Bungie is not one of these companies. They got a snitch. They can't find him. They looking for him because last year they had way more leaked. And not last year. The first Destiny, like the entire roadmap for Destiny was leaked, like everything. Yeah. So I feel like that this is one of those things where that second one was supposed to be the initial one that was teased for the gameplay, but so many people and they could have still did the exact same thing. But when it comes down to it, I guess it's more about timing because they want that initial, they want that hype to build up for the gameplay, and then they want the gameplay to go. What they're going to do, obviously, is they're going to show some kind of maybe 5-minute trailer at E3. In May, and then they're going to show a new trailer at E3, and then they're going to build up the hype from there. But I mean, I agree with Lord King. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that there was a promo to a promo. Like I've never. That is absurd.
Intermission to an intermission. Like, get the hell out of here. I'm so tired of these companies taking us for fools. And a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, they are running. Did you see Destiny? No, I didn't. I didn't see it because they didn't show it. So if you're gonna talk about what I saw was a CGI commercial. That's it. Yo, it's coming. Check it out. And I get that. If you want to do promotion, fine. Put a disclaimer in the corner. Put it at the bottom. Not actual gameplay. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100%.
Well, there's always no gameplay. But here's the thing.
No.
Like, let me ask you one question though. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going. My question to you is this: what about now? We live in the age of things like No Man's Sky, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes, sir.
Let's start with Mass Effect. It's been obviously been talked a lot. So we're in this age where if you show your bad facial animations, if you show some graphical flaws and not good fidelity and breakdown, and we've seen that it could be so damaging because let's be honest again. Not that I'm promoting fraud for companies. Let's get that.
This is exactly what it sounds like.
Like in all sense, it's easier just to not show anything and then the game launches.
Put it on paper.
You gotta build some hype up because the gamer is too smart now. Like we're so smart this age of social media and people breaking it down. And did you see the clipping on the foot? And
Foundry. Shout out to Digital Foundry.
Yeah, exactly. And resolution gate.
That's
so
right.
if you put out your shine is not right.
So my question to you,
mock that.
Lord Cognito, my question to you, you would rather be fooled?
Nah, I rather this is for, in Destiny's case, this is what I rather them you funny. It's not about being fooled. But I rather
in the case of what I love
on story. I'd rather them focus on story because that's where they lost the mass. Like the casual mass was like, oh, the story and Wizard jumps over the moon and Peter Dinklage is terrible and oh, it was scrapped. And so that's all the vanilla guy. It was us, the hardcore, that stuck with it.
Right.
Got to level 30, did our first raid and was like, okay, now we see the potential. And then there's people who never even played Taken King that knows that, you know, it was a good story that they revitalized.
Really good.
So with the teaser trailer, 100% I was about it. Now where I'm with you is now I feel with the reveal trailer, which we'll get into now, is stalling. Now I'm with you. Now I feel that, okay, not that you're fooling me, but you stalling. For sure. But good looking.
Yeah, me, okay. So I don't want to.
I know, because we're gonna get into your narrative. I know.
Yeah, so, my thing with these guys are, you know, and I really love them. I love Bungie, you know, just the same as everybody else that loves Bungie. I've been with them all the way through Halo, through everything, and it's fantastic. Okay, I believe that there's no dogma that's inside these companies, and they feel that they have to fool the public. And we're in a day and age where you don't have to. You can put down in the bottom because Microsoft does this actual in-game engine. Okay, and
they don't always
but not initially. There's always
anytime that they put out a couple of games, it says actual in-game engine. And if they put out a lot of the Gears of War, if you look in the corner, you know, and they show it says not actual in-game. You know, and it's fine. I have no problem with CGI. CGI has its moments in games, and CGI has its moments for teasers and trailers and stuff like that. But the narrative shouldn't be, did you see Destiny 2? The narrative should be, did you see the CGI video that they put out for Destiny 2? It was a nice CGI video. It was very funny. It was very witty, and it gave you insight on the Cabal hitting because everybody wanted the Cabal. So we got what we wanted, and it's fine. That's great. Don't tell me you saw Destiny 2 because you didn't. That's it. You didn't see it. And everybody.
So we're talking technicality. You're waiting for that gameplay engine reveal. So okay. So do you really think that people feel that they saw Destiny? What was shown?
Yeah. Listen, I was going back and forth with people on Facebook, on Instagram, talking about, yeah, man, that Destiny 2 look amazing. What? He said, yo, they stepped their graphics up this year. What? He said, did you see them shooting in the background? It looks so real. What? Like, shut up. Like, you didn't see anything.
So your point is more that you don't feel that the consumer is smart enough to discern it, that these are not real gameplay and that this is actually what they're going to get come September.
Exactly. Listen, we're a small segment of the population that actually are smart enough, or we've been beaten hard enough. This is what it is. We've been beaten so much by these companies to know the difference. We've been hit. Don't like a dog. Don't do that in the corner. If we see it, okay, we won't do that. We know. We've been beaten by Final Fantasy, the ultimate rules. Remember the dance floor. Never forget it. They told you, PlayStation, you're gonna get this, and we never got that. We're still looking for that for this day. M2, we're still looking for that to this day.
I feel you, but I think here's the. I know where you're going. I think in past generations, like especially the one before, 100% agree. I think where it is now is the consumer to me is so smart. The gamer now is so smart. Like, remember when Watch Dogs tried to pull it? And like dudes are now coming up with sayings. They be like, downgrade confirmed. Like that's the new thing now. Like people are so aware, I feel, of the foolery that they know they can't get away with it. So I was actually impressed when they said, okay, gameplay trailer is going to be, they actually said gameplay trailer will be May 18th or whatever. But I get you.
Switched that narrative too, because they said the gameplay trailer would be that Friday, and it switched that all the way to May. See, because this is the first time I'm hearing that it's May. So I just sucked my teeth to that. Like, yeah. Whatever.
He's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, man.
I hear you. So now getting to the second part of the the trailer, the movie CGI of the reveal. So we got the tower destroyed. We've got obviously the Guardians on the run. Like, how do we feel about just the direction, like, of where Destiny's going? Do we like it? Do we like them on the run? Do we see the possibilities? Also, wanted to talk about the expansions. Obviously one should be the Osiris would be the first one. There's also a leak. Shout out to Lord Briar Rabbit. He just put it out on Good Morning Guardians. It looks like definitely the Osiris expansion 1 DLC will be released winter. So we're looking at December already, from a quick turnaround from September with the first DLC, and then spring of 2018 will be that Rasputin DLC. So what do we feel about that whole, just the direction of the story, these expansions, how are we feeling about everything?
Lord, Attic, you wanna?
Attic is good.
Yeah, I mean, you can go first, Lord King.
I feel fantastic about it. I've always liked anything that Bungie has dropped as far as the DLCs go. I'm not gonna lie, they are in order with other MMOs. World of Warcraft does the same thing, and I think actually Bungie gets bashed a little bit too much for their DLC content that they do drop, and I think they drop more than the norm when it comes to MMOs. Usually MMOs goes years without dropping a new DLC, and then they hype it up, and it comes out. I thought they did a fantastic job with all the DLC that they dropped. I thought the content was fruitful because it kept us playing for hours. I thought it was impactful as far as some of the graphical upgrades that no one talked about but was going on. And the frame rate issues were actually fixed. So Bungie does a lot of things on the behind the scenes for the MMO, and I can't wait for the new DLC direction. I think they're going to do a fantastic job.
Oh, I forgot one other question I wanted to add in with that, Lord King, is what would be one of your, obviously you're a huge Division guy. Right. So my question is, what would be one of the features that you really would love to see Destiny 2 implement that could get you excited, potentially?
I'm excited from everything. Every aspect of it, because they're starting anew. They saw what they did wrong, and they said, okay, well, we're not going to bring over these weapons and stuff like that. So that gives them a chance to retool old favorites and bring back old favorites how they initially intended it to be, because they did the balancing issues and stuff like that. So Destiny 1 was a giant beta. and I believe Destiny 2 is
That's a
going to
good
be the
point.
final product.
That's a good point. That's actually a good point. Look, I jump in. I was going to jump in too on this.
I mean, I like, you know, we've always wanted something with the Cabal, because the Cabal is such a fantastic faction that they ain't really ever went into. And this is the first time they've ever, I mean, in the lore, Cabal have machines that can move whole planets. You know, they're very, very 300 civilization. You know, Spartans, their philosophy is, if you go to war, you banish until you win that war. So,
you can't come back home until you win. You do what we set you out to do. That's the Cabal mantra. Like, I'm sorry.
So I mean, we'll just have to see how they actually do it. Like, I'm not really have a problem with what they're going into. I like the scenario that Destiny 2 is starting. It's just I'm a little iffy on what they're going to do with Destiny 2 as a whole. It's just like I don't know what they're going to try to fix, what they're going to try to, you know.
You're talking about from a mechanic standpoint,
I don't know
from a gameplay standpoint.
I don't know. Like some of these companies, when they have a successful first one, they try to bring more people in, but they end up pushing more people out.
Okay, so you're worried about like stuff they may do for casualizing it. Okay,
yeah,
got you. Which is fair. Yeah, I mean, there's a good points. I think for me, like I said, narratively, I'm really cool with it. I thought they did a great job of explaining why things don't go forward by just blowing up the vault. That was hilarious.
I did like that. They did put the minute canon of why it's being destroyed, and not just it's gone.
It's just gone. You know, that's it. So that was cool. Obviously, y'all, you know, Lords know I'm a huge fan of Cabal. Those are my peoples. I don't feel they get enough love. And you know, narratively, why I think that was cool. That, you know, they're like, look, you got involved with our business in the Dreadnought. We was about to handle Oryx on our own. We don't need you. You know, and they came to our crib and got us out of there. Now, me purposely, I would love. I know it's gonna sound foul. I'm getting a lot of backlash for this. I would love for them to just kill the speaker. I would love a dog that had came in there and just, you know, they put the knife behind and you see his lifeless body go limp. It's in on a throne, like kind of like how Lord King has the I want Gaul in the throne, chilling by there, and I hate the speaker. So I think he's a charlatan. You know, my man is Osiris. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a false prophet. He's been misleading us, but that's just my feeling. So narratively, I love this. I love that the Tower Destroyer, and I did not see the speaker, so I'm hoping he's out of there. So that's number one. As far as the
I think you're really, really reaching. That dude's not going anywhere.
We don't know. We didn't see him. We don't know.
I hope the Age of Triumph was the last time I hear that voice.
You know what? This week I'm gonna put on Age of Triumph.
With us, baby.
I'm going to jump in there. I'm gonna give. I paid for
Exposed.
This game. I paid for this game, and I played and I supported them all the way through. I don't care how jaded I am with what they said they're gonna do later on. What I need to do is continue to support the franchise that I bet money on. When you know, when you put your money down on the game, you bet on it. And when you support every DLC that comes out, you're betting heavy. Now all your chips is in the middle of the table. So just because the cards that are dealt aren't the cards that you wanted to see, that doesn't mean that you fold and, you know, pack up your tent and get up off the table. So
we want you back. It's been fun. I have to admit, like, just dusting it off, doing Crota Raid, and then, like, you guys are the Crota vets, so I know nothing. Like, I ran it halfway through. Right. I know nothing but you guys carrying me, right?
Right.
And nothing but from a cheating perspective. All right, stand over there, Cognito. That was like my first raid. I was just very underleveled. You know what I mean? So it was shout out to, you know, Lord Sinister, Lord King. You guys grabbed me up and said, "No, we got you. We gonna get you through your first raid." You know, yeah. Now the thing that's funny doing it now is they've made subtle changes where they shut down the hustles. So
that's done.
Now it's like certain things, but you guys used to do the cheat to go over the bridge. You can't do that no more. Like, you have to do things legitimately. So in that sense, it felt new. You know what I mean? And shout out to Lord High, Lord Neil. We had a funny raid. Lord Addict could tell you it was one of the most hilarious.
I saw it, and I really wanted to say, I don't know, Lord Addict, if you saw me put that love on that video that you posted. I put that love up there for you, man. That sword game that you was running around with. That sword game was 100%, baby.
According to Lord Neil, I wasn't doing jack shit.
Well, he's not a lord, so let's stop with all that.
You should ask Lord Cognito about that conversation.
Yeah, let's stop saying Lord in front of his name. Nail he's just who he is. He's a nice individual, and God bless him. You know,
Shadow 5 alum.
Yes, no, he's not even a Shadow 5 alum. So that's not. No, his brother is a Shadow 5, Channel 5 alum. Remember, he's a subsidiary. So let's keep it 100. He's a subsidiary. He's a subsidiary. We don't believe in nepotism, so you're not getting in the club.
He threw the jersey on. He threw the jersey on.
He can look at, he the water boy. He was gonna keep it 100. All right. Anyway, but you was doing your thing.
Yeah, I was killing everybody.
Yes, he was. Yo, he went down there. He killed the ogre. He went in the room. He killed the wizards. He had this. Yo, I swear, I was watching the gameplay, and I was like, look at it go.
And you know what's funny? You didn't hear the party chat, but the whole time I was like, Neil, where are you? Why am I killing the ogre by myself?
Yes,
and
I love the loot that you got, baby. Your loot game was right. They blessed you.
It was nice. And they got the exact elemental primaries back and stuff like that. So it's good. But not to get too caught off, I know Age of Triumph is there. I just wanted to finish one last thing.
Sorry, I had to jump in there.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It definitely was worth talking about. What I wanted to get into is just one thing as far as like a want. Obviously, I said my narrative want, but my gameplay want, and I'm a shout out to Division. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they're not gonna give us 4-player fire teams like how Division has, which I really like, then and I speak to shout out to Lord Dizzy, like I need like 6-person patrols or 4 to 6.
That's
like
not
there's
a
no
reach. I think that's pretty like
like
the thing is if it was hard, if you couldn't do that right now, then I'll be like, that's ridiculous. But us as a Destiny community, we have found cheeses to make this possible. So let's just let us have it.
Tricks in the Court of Oryx, tricks in the what's the other Archon's Voyage. All right, get your man and message him, and then see if we could bring in so we could be in the same instance. Like we need to. One thing that Division does very well, besides shout Lord Kaiser, he's gonna say UI and item organization. Yes, we know that. But outside of that, what I love about Division is if your man is in the map, you go to where he's at. You know what I mean? And it's an automatic instance. You're there, like, especially patrol spaces. Like it should be no reason why 4 to 6 players at Channel 5 we can't, or at least make like 6-player patrols. And if the story is what it is, the tower's destroyed. We're out in the barren earth setting up outposts. It's made for this. Like
it's mechanics like that make the Division more, team friendly, because it's reasons like that you in the dark zone and you see like eight people come up on you because they was easy for them people to get together.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. Let's talk that Division, baby.
Oh man, we got him started.
Damn you, baby.
I will always give credit where credit is due, and I always felt that Division did that very well. And those are things that I back my mind. Like, that's me. I better steal that. That's really good. I really felt that was a good property. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Destiny 2 trailer. Hopefully we get some gameplay for Lord King so we can calm him down. He's not falling for it.
I know it's coming, and as soon as it does, arrive, then it'll quell a lot of the rhetoric that's that's going on right now. But it's going to be good. I believe so. I don't believe that they're going to screw it up. Dual welding, I hope it's there.
Like speaking of which, shout out to those new Cabal enemy types, like the dual wielding sword person, and then like I said, like the red guard and stuff. Like so, I like those little like wildebeest things that was attacking. So I like that they doing different stuff like that. Oh, real quick, what do you guys? Shout out a lot. I got this question for you specifically. What do you feel about like a Cabal raid, that potential that could be. You had some ideas we talked offline before.
Fantastic. All I can say
he's so
is
choked up.
I want to see the home world. I want the home world. I want to see how the Cabal live and get down.
For what they're saying from the GameStop leak, Lord King, is they're trying to say that like they destroyed us, we're scattered, and like we have to go to different parts of the galaxy to round up other Guardians, and almost like we've even lost our powers. Is what they're saying too. Like because
they're gonna retool.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yep. So I don't know if we'll get to go to the whole world. Dead. Oh, I hope you know me. I love that.
I think they went in there. I mean, okay. And this is what I give credence to what you're talking about. I think it's very credible. Mm-hmm. I believe if as a strategy, mm-hmm. and you know the Cabal are strategic in everything that they do, 100%. Mm-hmm. I believe the strategy is to go and cut the head off the snake, right? So you go in, you kill a speaker, and
so that one
and blow up the tower in the forge. I honestly believe that would be the strategy to do so. So, and they probably thought that, remember when they blew up the tower, they were going for all the heads. They were going for, the head of the Hunters, the head of the Titans.
That initial attack, they started right where they were.
Exactly.
Shout out to Lil Dizzy. He's like, kill the speaker. I'm with him. He's in the chat.
Yeah, so
he's got to go. He's a charlatan.
If you think it's fun, like what's funny is the Vexes try to do this, the Hives try to do this, the Fallen. There's been consistent attacking on this tower that they've said for like the past 1,000 years, and it's like the Cabal was like, I'm done. Like I'm blowing shit up.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think this is the first time in the lore that the Cabal has actually been in this galaxy like this, like you know.
Now you were saying, Lord Addict, in reference, now you're back as far as the raid. Like you mentioned some mechanics, like if you want like a war, like an ongoing war during the raid. Like tell me your raid hopes that you were thinking about.
The way I would want the raid to be, and obviously this is pure speculation. Highly doubt any of this would happen, but I think it'd be cool if the first raid out of Destiny 2 is during the war. And it'll be like, Cade and all of them are fighting outside the walls of if we're on like a Cabal leadership or something, or a Cabal drop ship that's dropped down or something of that, like the ship that they brought in to attack us with, and like some of the parts in the raid, not all of the parts, is like interacting with them or lasting long enough for them to do something to interact with what we're doing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, that whole backdrop of a destroyed city would be kind of crazy, and I want to see what Gaul can do. He's kind of got that like he reminds me like a little Planet Hulk beastiness going on.
Lord Dizzy does have
Dizzy
does have a point there. We did kind of like just drop in, and I don't even think the Cabal really did anything to us. We just started killing people on the Dreadnought, so that probably
we was in their business. Like we should have let them handle it. They crashed their ship into Auric's ship to go handle it, and they brought the Shield brothers and a whole bunch. And here we are involving ourselves in Cabal business.
Should have mind our business.
They didn't like Gary is not about that. I love that Cade calls him Gary. I think that was hilarious.
He was like, Gary. Dude, when he was trying to guess his name and he was like something with a G, I just lost it after that.
You know what I thought? I thought that they did it without the Hunter at first, because they had the sideshow for the Hunter when he was sitting at the bar, and I thought that teaser was separate, right? I thought they did that separate, and I thought they did it with the Titan next, and it didn't go over well. And I think they added the Hunter to give the comedy relief to it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you nailed it. I think what they realize is, yes, Destiny is this space epic with all this supposedly great lore buried in Grimoire, and I think one of the strength of the Taken King was like Nathan Fillion saying like, look, okay, we don't have to take this so serious. Let's add a little comic relief to it. And honestly, I think me and Lord Attic had this discussion. I think Cade speaks to the player because if he heard his thing, he's like, and more loot, and everybody's like, yeah, loot. Like, you know what I'm saying? They blew up his stuff. They blew up your stuff.
Like, and people were just dogging on Savala. No, what's the Titan? Savala. Yeah, I always mispronounce his name, but I actually liked his speech too.
I like Lord Savala. Like, you know, Lord King, Lord Savala is our man from The Wire. That's Lieutenant Daniels. That's Lance Reddick.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, Chuck Bodak.
He just walked around. He's like, usually, and what was funny is it's like him and Cade are the exact opposite of each other. He's like, I know you guys looking at me for support, but this isn't something that I could do by myself. And Cade's like, if you don't fight, if you're not out there, I'll kill you myself.
Yeah, and in the back, a couple of people on Twitter actually freeze framed it during his speech. If you take a screenshot, you'd see Lord Saladin in the back. You see Lord Shax. You got Zur in the back. You know, so I thought that was interesting too. That Saladin came through. You know what I'm saying, to help out, and it was all hands on deck kind of a thing. So it's gonna be crazy, man. We got a lot of stuff going. They got faction. They got so much potential. So definitely excited. And it's gonna be interesting. Dizzy's in there. He's like, Cade is to Destiny what Deadpool is to Marvel. Yeah, I think he nailed it. Yeah, Dizzy, you're on it. Yeah, I think he's like a Deadpool.
Spider-Man, you know, the witty banter. Let's not discredit Spider-Man and give all this praise to Deadpool with being so witty. Spider-Man was doing it first, and he was doing it in the PG form. You just like the crude and crass behavior and the vulgarness of Deadpool. That's the only thing that you like. So let's stop with him being so witty. Spider-Man's been doing it.
All right, let's not get into a Marvel conversation.
We're gonna get into a Marvel conversation. I got a Marvel conversation that's coming. So you're not gonna shut that down as far as my Spider-Man love.
We are excited about Destiny 2. The Lords are ready. It's good to see talking Destiny. Lord King, we're going to get you in these raids, man. We're going to get you going on some major triumph.
Yeah, we need someone else that can run a sword, man. Me and Sin can't do it all.
Shout out to Lord Dion. They're killing him right now.
It's not a Lord. Yo, stop that right there. Shout out to Neil.
No, but before we move on, though, with this topic, like Lord King, I kid you not. Like, the reason you saw that gameplay is because he was running that mouth, and I kept recording the gameplay to show, like, dude, you ain't killing nothing. Like, by the time he gets there, everyone already dead.
You know what it is? Room allows this individual to get under his skin. The Lord Attic allows this individual to do this to him on numerous occasions. No,
you can ask Lord Cognito. That time I was going in on him. I was like, I recorded. I'll show you. He's like, and then we were talking about the ogre part. He's like, okay, let's talk about that last part. It's like, what happened to the ogre part you just messed up on, Neil? Why are we changing the goalposts?
Shout out to Neil. He's a Channel 5 member who is extremely
He's a Channel 5 literary.
And for people in the chat, in the chat, those raids will end your friendship.
Yes, Crota will end your friendship, especially now with how you can't kind of choose your weight and everything has to be done right. Everyone kind of has to hold their weight a little bit more. So yeah, I would agree. But moving on that note.
Yeah, let's go on.
So look, you want to jump in with your transition, or you felt you touched it when we go on to the other topic?
Oh, let's go on to the strategy. Okay, we're gonna jump into strategy.
Before that, before we do that, let's jump right into Scorpio.
Yeah, go to next. Yeah, okay, cool.
You know, right now, obviously, there's a lot of news outlets. Shout out to Jess Gordon, shout out to Windows Central and those guys. The rumors coming down the pipeline that Scorpio reveal will be revealed this week coming. That it's going to be a major news outlet. So we don't know which one that could be, if it's like an IGN or any of those things. There's also been leaks. Oh, that'd be lit. Major news outlet.
Imagine if that was on CNN. I would lose my shit.
I think it's going to be on a real major. I don't want to say IGN is not real.
I've been told that it's going to be a tech website. It's not
going
to be
a tech
IGN.
website?
It's not going to be GameStop. It's going to be a tech website.
Then they might bound up with Digital Foundry, since Digital Foundry was doing such the exposing of them last, or you can say last generation, because that's really last generation. I really believe with that PlayStation 4 and Digital Foundry wasn't riding with the PlayStation 4. They was just stating the obvious. People will like to say that Digital Foundry has a certain affinity for PlayStation 4. They don't. They just have affinity.
They just go by facts.
That's it.
Right.
The fact.
Yeah, and it was clear that in the initial beginning of the generation,
trends.
PlayStation 4's multiplats were superior from a graphical standpoint, from a resolution standpoint, or from instances from a frame rate standpoint. So that I agree in that sense. I think that
they have a better GPU.
They've become glorified though. Like this generation kind of brought them to the forefront in showing disparity between console comparison.
Yep.
What do you think about that? Okay.
Well, I thought that Digital Foundry, and I found them by happenstance. I thought they are fantastic because they answer a lot of my questions. My questions is, are these guys lying? That's it. I just need to know, are they lying to me? That's it. And I don't care how you put on the makeup on your face. Just let me know, do you look like this under the makeup, or if you don't? So CGI, like I said, they'll tell you, no, this is a CGI cutscene. It's at 30 frames per second. This is that doesn't matter. Let's get the gameplay. Oh, they have a fluctuating adaptive V-Sync. They break it down so that the layman can understand. That's why I love Digital Foundry, and I believe that they might go with them just to expose, just to show you that we're at true 4K gaming.
Now imagine if they do go through Digital Foundry. Sorry to interrupt you, Loki. Yeah. Like, imagine that would be crazy.
That's big. That's really big.
That would be the ultimate confidence, because that would mean that
that's the number one site that's been shitting on you for the past 3 years.
Exactly, especially showing that your versions are inferior. So that would just be ultimate confidence if they would show them. Now the only thing is aren't they they're still a European outlet, right? Because they're associated with Eurogamer.
Yes.
So I'm as much as I would love that, and that would be like amazing if they did it, I'm not sure, because we think maybe they might want to bring it out to a US news outlet first.
Might go the Europe route, because remember, we are lagging behind in Europe, and if we can get the Europe mindshare, the European mindshare, then we can actually that'd be cool.
They're behind over there, so they definitely would do that. Now, as far as they're also saying in this report that there will be revealing specs.
Yep, concrete specs.
They're listing games. They're saying a lot of the first party titles, as far as from a Forza 7, which we kind of expected. Crackdown 3, we expected. State of Decay 2. So all the first party stuff we kind of expected, but then they kind of threw in the loop with some Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, she being a Scorpio kind of infused title, Battlefront 2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, that's the perfect way to combat someone getting all the marketing deals for the first part, for the third party deals. It's not the end all be all. Regardless what you come out, if they got exclusive content, that's still going to overshot your superior version. But it's a way to really put a dent off of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think what they made, the approach that Phil and these guys may be taking is saying, okay, because again, if you look on Twitter and you look on, with Aaron Greenberg and the marketing guys, the first thing he'll say, like when Destiny 2 came out, and we all know that Destiny 2, the marketing is with Sony and exclusive with Sony. So I thought it was interesting that the first thing this guy brought out, and Greenberg, is like, I can't wait to see how that's going to look on Scorpio, and then I believe it was, what was the next thing? Was it Battlefront, when they announced Battlefront, Lord Addict?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? You think that's you think they're just trying to damage control through really smart marketing and PR?
I have my theory, but Lord, Ken, you want to jump in?
No, go ahead, attack it.
My theory is that, again, we know for a fact, right now from an exclusive standpoint, that right now Microsoft and Xbox One is pretty hurting as far. They're behind. Sony's had a great first half of the year, these amazing exclusives, and they keep coming. Persona 5 just dropped. You got the MLB dropped. The list goes on and on with these great exclusive titles for the first half of the year. So I think, to your point, Lord Addict, what they may be saying to themselves is saying, okay, we're not going to win that, but how we can do it is we can change the narrative and kind of do what Sony did to them in the initial part of the generation, which was, okay, all our multiplats run better, look better. Therefore, we have the definitive version of said game. So even though you may have the marketing rights, they may say, hey, Xbox One shows the true, 4K HDR. Now, will that be enough? Time will tell. But I will say this:
it just depends on how different the multiplats are. If there's significant
difference,
that's how you turn the media against the competition.
If there's a game like, what is it, Shadow of War was once they announced, they're putting their marketing and their name behind. Destiny 2, they threw their name behind. So, Battlefront, now we're hearing Red Dead, Madden, all these games. So again, if the jump is as significant as what people are saying, and I've got some tea leaves going on, and people are telling me, like, when you see this stuff, your face is gonna melt. So I'm trying not to fall too much into the hype. But for me personally, and shout out to Lord Dizzy, we've had this conversation 1,000 times. Listen, the multi-plat's fantastic. I'm all about that. As far as I'm looking better, I just need those exclusives in conjunction. They throw that in conjunction and show some stuff that is only on the platform or they've been working on. Then to me, you knock it out the park. And that's what I think right now is what is sorely lacking. But that's what I got on it. What you got, look at?
Oh, okay. Now I'm in the same vein as you. I thought Microsoft backed themselves into a corner when they stopped funding a lot of their projects. Or maybe they are at the point where they're tired of revealing stuff and people.
I think that's a possibility too. That a lot of people, they keep saying, well, Microsoft did this, Microsoft did that. Phil Spencer seems like he don't do shit that Microsoft normally does.
Right.
So
he's doing his own deal. He's not getting those marketing deals. He doesn't care about marketing deals.
He said, I don't like third-party marketing deals, and since then we've seen marketing deals, but not to the extent. The Tomb Raider time exclusive was way before Phil came in. That was in stone already. Maybe it's like me and Lord Cognito and Lord King said in the past, maybe in the next year or two, we'll actually see moves that Phil actually made himself from the start, and not something that was already in motion. Scalebound was already in motion. All these games that are canceled wasn't even him that started the funding for it. It was just Phil trying to keep the momentum for those games going. Am I giving him excuse for canceling these games? Of course not. Scalebound, all these games have their own problems that they had to cancel. We will never know why some of these games were canceled, but I feel like
if you saw Scalebound like I did, you saw the frame rate problems and stuff like that. You saw exactly what I saw. So we were saying when we was watching these games, I hope they clear that up. Maybe Phil said the same thing, and these people weren't clearing it up. And he said, you know what? I'm not putting it out.
Yeah, the Scalebound thing is such a mystery.
What's funny is that joke going around every time that Nier Automata game comes up. It's like, look, Microsoft funded that.
Yo, they savage. They savage. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I noticed that when it comes to software takes, it's like a presidential term, takes 4 to 8 years for you to actually see something. And when it comes to a hardware type of thing, it's more immediate. It's more to the people. It's more in Congress. Not Congress. It's more as your senator and stuff like that. So that stuff happens immediately. So Phil is actually able to say immediately, slim that box down, put out an Xbox Slim with a 4K in this, and boom, that's done. You can go to production. You can get that run up. Let's get that out. As far as my system goes, we all know this is the Phil system. So the way Phil's vision is, and maybe Phil's vision is, definitively, I want our own games, because remember, before, the best games played on Xbox. Now, when the narrative changes, that the multiplats run better on the PlayStation system, we was thrown back. We was like, what? We was at a loss for that. We didn't understand that was foreign to us because we came up with Madden ran better on Xbox. This ran better on Xbox. So now it's like it's running better on PlayStation. That was a hard pill to swallow.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think I also wanted to throw this point in with this whole thing, if this rumor is true, is that, one, I think it's smart to actually do a reveal. Hopefully if they can announce a reveal is coming before E3, this way E3 can be focused completely on the games, because I was doing the history on it. It was May, I believe it was May of 2013 is when the Xbox One reveal happened. Remember, even though it was a disaster because they were talking TV and the whole DRM stuff and people got all out of shape.
I happen to like it. I'm sorry, I was in the minority.
Listen, I'm with you too. It's one of those things. They actually did a survey just recently. I forgot the publication. I want to give proper credit, but they just did a survey about right now, do people care about digital versus the physical? And I was shocked. The people who wanted the physical still were in the lead as far as from a vote standpoint. Me personally, I'm with you, looking like I'm pretty much 100% digital. It's so like, what are we holding on to? And then even a lot of these games they're physical discs are online only games, like Overwatch, Destiny. So the disc means nothing.
Can I ask you a question? I wanted to ask you this question, right? Because for those idiots, and I hope y'all are inside the room chatting right now. You idiots. For all you idiots that was talking about DRM always online, I'm not about that life. Okay, you always online now, you idiot. The system is always on. You're always hooked up to Wi-Fi. You're always hooked up to the internet. Why? Because you're always linked up to YouTube. You're always linked up to something. Very rarely everybody's Xbox is sitting off and not linked online. If you ever went to your friend's house and you turned on his Xbox and he had no connect to the internet, you'll look at him like, what's going on here?
Exactly. I mean, we're so integrated with it. You're right.
So what was the problem?
Because people want physical discs. Unfortunately,
not the physical part about it. They talking about the DRM. You always got to check and remember that. That was the nail in the coffin.
Right. In conjunction with Connect, everybody had their third eye open. Stuff might be in their house.
Oh God. But they walk around with that cell phone.
Man. It was bad too. It was bad. Like Microsoft got hit from different angles. They got hit from the no use games, and not to mention Sony making hilarious YouTube videos on the side.
On that. Yeah, the shots fired diss tracks.
And then you got and not only are they getting hit by the used game policy, they're getting hit by the always on thing. They're getting hit by the They're getting hit by the always on. What was the thing we were just talking about?
The physical, digital,
the physical used date games that they wouldn't play used games. The Connect watching.
I think it would have been better, but it's just like that reveal just hurt them so much that it would have dethroned anyone.
And TVT, and that's why I want to make the statement too, because I know a lot of the Xbox guys are really down on Xbox, and I gotta give Phil this. He inherited a retarded child at birth as far as the Xbox was. Like,
that's not the politically correct term. Here at the Iron Lords podcast, retardation, if that's not the politically correct term,
let's just say that
a mentally challenged child.
Yes, it was a mentally challenged child. It was a lot of the debilitation that had to happen. Rehabilitation that had to happen when our man Phil Spencer joined the team. And
I would go as far as saying that he got a child on life support.
Pretty much. I mean, for it to even be respectable and talked about now, it's just even competitive and turning around and winning MPDs a couple of times here and there. It to me is amazing how he changed the messaging. Yeah, go for it.
I'll give you a caveat, and people are not talking about this enough. The PlayStation 4 is on an unprecedented run. This is. Let's take them out of the equation, right? Let's say
Yes. Good
PlayStation
point.
4
I know where you're
never
going.
existed.
Good point.
This Xbox One is on pace to outpace the
The
360,
360.
which was the highly successful system from the last generation. So the numbers that the Xbox One is putting up is better than the 360 numbers, but we're looking at it as a failure because the PlayStation 4 is selling at a rate that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you just nailed it. Lord King, you
Right.
nailed it. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, a lot of Xbox fanboys, a lot of people who are on side of Xbox are not seeing the big picture. From a corporation standpoint, they are outpacing the 360, which was their most successful system.
Yes.
So they're doing well. It's just that from a fanboy standpoint, you're looking at the other dudes and you're like, damn, we going, you know, we doing platinum. They're going diamond.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, but we're still going platinum. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just that
We 50 Cent. They Eminem. It's
exactly.
fine. It's very fine. We're
You gotta
cool.
be comfortable with that. And I
Oh
feel
We're cool.
I'll be 50. I'll be 50.
Now think about it this way. Also, at the end of the road, right?
Mhm.
When Eminem was all said and done, he's
Mhm.
all washed up in the corner. 50
Who's still
Cent
there?
kept going. All right, power is on. Listen,
You're funny.
the system is coming. Scorpio's coming.
Now, also, I want to jump in on that too, okay, because this is my theory. And again, shout out Dizzy's in the chat. Shout out to Lord Dizzy. Like, my theory is people are like, well, you know, what's Microsoft going to do? Like, how are they just, you know, getting their behind kick as far as exclusive? Because if you look at the narrative right now, if you go to all the major news outlets, it's, you know, it's doom and gloom. You know, it's just like, you know, oh, we don't think anything Microsoft can do and blah, blah, blah. You know, one thing people forget is me and Lord King, we were around for OG Xbox.
Yep.
Right? We thought that machine and their vision was fantastic. Like hard drive in the box, the first to do Ethernet in the system. You know what I mean? Like they had a lot of things. We were like, okay, but it came out during the time of PlayStation 2. Right? And PlayStation 2 was just like, it was no stopping that movement. It was no stopping that movement, no matter when you came out. So what I felt, which was smart, is Microsoft dictated and ended the generation by saying, okay, you know what, 360, we're coming out right now. And everybody was like, whoa, they're coming out with a new system already? And to me, this is a kind of replay in my mind as what they're doing with Scorpio. They're like, look, the damage is done with Matrix. This is, Phil may be saying, this is my baby, right? Let's dictate the new generation now with Scorpio. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And do it the way it should have been done. And we start the trend. You see what I'm saying? Because if you remember, 360 came out a year before PS3. They had that year to them, well, not to themselves, but you know what I'm saying? From a standpoint of taking all the momentum away from the PS2, it was superior from a graphical standpoint. Points look better, everything looked better. Then kind of Sony kind of forced their hand to kind of speed up, come up with PS3 with the cell processor and, you know, all that stuff. But the fact of the matter remains is that Microsoft dictated the start of that generation. So I think they may be doing that. I don't know. I want to know what Lord Attic thinks about my theory in reference to that.
I have mixed. I kind of don't think that they're going to start another generation. I mean, part of me thinks that, you know, the writing is on the wall. You know, it's like I was telling Lord Cognito about a week ago. The only thing that could even remotely, there's a couple things that could, you know, get Microsoft out of the ditch and, you know, kind of do the PS3 of last generation, just barely catch up by the end of the generation. I don't think they'll pass PlayStation 4 ever, but, you know, they can either have like couple bomb franchises that, you know, really push out Xbox One units, or they have that like Halo 2 of the original Xbox that just blows up so fast that everyone buys an Xbox One because of what, you know, we've talked about on our Lord's podcast. They just don't have the studios. We know every studio that they have that we are knowledgeable. Every first party studio, we know what all of them are making, and you know, for the next 2 to 3 years. So I don't see them just redoing another generation. For some reason, especially
you don't see this as a refresh. You see this more as just light upgrade.
Yeah, they're doing it's Xbox One regardless. You know, there's I've been told that, it's going to be called Xbox One something. So I feel like they're keeping it in the family. Now, will they do iterations like this and never have another generation every couple of years? I think that's more plausible than them just starting another generation. Who knows? Microsoft might change the way generations happen with the Xbox One.
Almost like a mid-console refresh is what you're going with.
Well, we're at a stage in our evolution as humans that we want everything faster, quicker, stronger, more powerful. Shout out to the Samsung Galaxy 8.
Oh yeah.
And the mid-season refresh, it's happening with TV shows. It's happening with everything in our life. We are starting to get things in bite-sized chunks, and we're taking it how we want to take it, right? And Phil looked at it and he said, okay, just like Lord Attic said, it's a wash. We're not catching up to these guys.
You're not catching up, exactly.
And it's a part of both of what both of you have said, Lord Cognito. We have we were around long enough to see Microsoft say, okay, we're dictating policy. We're writing policy. It starts now. When Scorpio drops, the next generation starts now. Sony, sorry for the Pro, and you guys have purchased the Pro like myself. I purchased 2 of them. It's been a disappointment. Okay,
and it's the Pro from a hardware standpoint.
From a hardware standpoint, from the software standpoint, there's no software that actually supports the thing. It's from a standpoint of the whole thing is a farce.
No Horizon Zero Dawn love? No,
I don't have it. I don't got the game. Why? Because
it said that it's graphically enhanced.
Yes, it's not compelling enough for me to believe that lie. Listen. I know Sony. I know Sony very well. I've been burnt by Sony for so long. I understand they bull, and I can see it from a mile away. I mean, if it's facts, it's facts. If it's not, it's not.
So what do you feel is the farce with the Pro? I just want to clarify for the PlayStation.
The 4K from the 4K. It's not a 4K system.
Right. Okay. So you feel it's kind of a half measure. You're talking about like checkerboard rendering, that kind of stuff, and not enough HDR 4K.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie from when you pick up the box and you read the box. It's a lie. So no HDR mandatory. Listen, the Xbox One S is more of a 4K system than that Pro. And it's cheaper. Shout out to Microsoft. Go get that.
Savage.
Both of you guys were right and on the nail. Hit the nail on the head. Attic, in his perspective of Phil said, scrap this. We won't catch up. Your perspective in Microsoft saying that we're going to dictate policy. We will tell you when the next generation comes out, and the next generation starts with Scorpio. And from that point, we wipe the slate clean and we start anew. You get a new mind share. You have the narrative that these guys have to catch up, and you put the pressure back on Sony.
Okay. So what do you say? And I don't want to go. I know we're going off because I know it's part of your topic too, as far as Sony strategy. But I wanted to say, what do you say to the Sony guys that say, but you guys have no game? It doesn't matter. Because what I'm seeing is a shift. I'm seeing that the Xbox guys in the beginning of the generation were like, hey, that we got 1080p is nice, but we got the 720 smooth rate and we got games. Whereas now, exactly, Sony's like, well, your multiplats run like crap and you're 900p and yada, yada, yada. So now that the tables are reversed and the narratives may be changing, and you have the Sony guys saying, well, look, you guys have no exclusives. You know what I mean? And now we're saying we got 4K HDR, we got the power, we got the definitive version. So what do you say to the guys that say that you guys still don't have any games, it's just multiplats?
Kudos to you. You're repping the dead system.
They're gonna say,
I'm gonna take the narrative. Yeah, I'm gonna take the narrative and I'm gonna take it and do exactly what Sony does. Sony always flips it. This has been their mantra forever. Whenever you go left, we're going to go right. And they've been doing it. Okay, we got more power. Okay. Y'all got games. Okay, so what? Now we have more power. We got games. No, brother, you don't get
They
it
moving the
both ways.
goalposts? They moving the goalposts, Lil King?
You don't get it both ways. This is when Microsoft destroys that narrative of we got games.
Mhm.
This is how.
Talk
We
to me.
play anywhere. We have more games than you because we can play all our 360 games.
Mhm.
Period.
Mhm.
So, from the standpoint of games, you don't have more games. Our backlog and catalog shows you that we have more games. We can play on any platform that has
Mhm.
Windows 10 devices.
Right, but what about they're gonna say first party exclusives? That the
That's
quality of the first party exclusives
that's
are crap.
nice. That's nice. You're repping a dead system. It's
Why
dead.
it gotta be that
You know why?
system?
Because it's last generation. Why is it last generation? It's happening now. Microsoft said so. It's dead. We're on to Scorpio. We y'all lost. And they can say, oh, y'all lost. We beat you here first. We're starting over fresh. We're not even talking about that old stuff. And that's what we're gonna do. We're not talking about last year.
They're gonna move the goalposts, but Michael say no,
That's it.
that's last year.
That's last year stuff. What are you talking about? What are y'all doing in 4K right now? We have this stuff over here. Where y'all
I
at?
wouldn't be interested if Microsoft attempted this.
You know what Microsoft should have did? Microsoft should have did a video where how you play a 4K movie on Xbox. Open the tray and put it in. Boom.
Shots fired.
Just
Shots
play it
fired.
right back. See,
We-
they don't have me in marketing. If they had me in marketing, they would never lose.
Mhm.
Just put the 4K. And how can you play a 4K movie on PlayStation Pro or PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Slim? You got mad PlayStations. How can you play a 4K movie on PlayStation? You can't.
Well, they have that advantage of 4K Blu-ray. You know,
Yep.
it's gonna be interesting to see how Phil and these guys approach it. What's the Xbox narrative? You know, because again, I think we've just been seeing, you know, shout out to Lord Attic, like we've just been seeing little hints from the marketing team of saying, you know, which version and you know, how great the Scorpio version is gonna look. You know, Shadow War, Destiny 2, Battlefront, that kind of stuff. So it looks like they are leaning to some of the stuff that you are saying, Lord King, as far as promoting that power and you know, seeing how they dictate it. So
Why not? Why not go out there and swing that big baseball bat if you don't? If you got it, you got it. Swing it, baby. Show them. Be Barry Bonds. Step up to the plate, knock a home run out every time.
We shall see. This week, the rumors are tingling. They're saying we should get a Scorpio reveal, or at minimum, maybe some specs, and it should be interesting to see.
What happens when it happens, though? What is going to be when they show up to the party, though?
No doubt. It's gonna be interesting. So as we on that note, we're gonna move forward and we're gonna get into the Lord King's topic. So you want to talk about from the Sony perspective now. We've talked from the Scorpio perspective. Let's talk about from the Sony E3 perspective. What do you got to say on this, Lord King?
No, if I'm running Sony.
What do you do to combat all this Scorpio chest out people running around with the M symbol and the emoji? What do you do to shut that down?
On top of games, on top of games, on top of games. Like, what games do you have? We have these games. Oh, did you see our list that we just dropped? Oh, that's for real. See, people think this is a unicorn, and that's not for real.
Lord, that ain't gonna be cool if you can grab a hold of that list, because we got an ongoing bet going with that. Yes. For the people who don't know,
I had a hard time finding that list. Like, wait, keep talking while you.
What it is there's a leak that's going out as far as the E3 2017 Sony's press conference, and what. You know,
I think it's been confirmed fake now, though.
Yeah, by Microsoft heads, because I would yell out fake too. Bogus, fraud. It's fraud. That list alone is an indictment. It's an indictment against Microsoft. It's an indictment against their games. It's an indictment against their power. So if that actually comes out, and if it actually comes to fruition, which I honestly believe it does, it shifts the perspective. How do you stop a juggernaut with speed and movement? Agility. The games give them versatility and agility. The games
Right.
gives them different angles that they can hit you from. We got RPGs, we got sports, we got this, we have first-person shooters, we have this, and we have exclusive content that Microsoft doesn't have. Yes, I will.
But do they have release dates? Is the question.
No, they do. That's a Sony. Sorry, I'm not gonna sit there and try to back that lie. I can say that they're not gonna tell you, oh, this is coming out this year. No, we have this in development. This is coming.
Okay.
We have 200 games we're making. So you hear that number, 200 games.
All right.
Oh God.
All right. It's up on the screen.
There we go.
Right, cool. There we go.
Yeah.
So that list.
Still think it's fake as shit.
Yeah, that list. I know Lord Sovereign. I wish he was here right now. And he's rocking with King. We got Death Stranding, right?
Yeah,
which
be
is
shown.
possible.
That's shown.
We got Project Oscar. Sounds very suspect. What
Could be anything.
Oscar?
Could be anything.
Okay. God of War, very possible. They showed God of War at the the little trailer, the teaser trailer. No, actually, no, it was gameplay. It wasn't.
They were showing gameplay.
It was gameplay in there. Then we had Days Gone, which we have seen, which we could see more of. That's possible. Dreams VR. I have to defer to Lord King. I don't know anything about the VR.
That's a VR game, and they need a VR game. Okay.
Okay, Uncharted Lost Legacy. Now that's real, right? Isn't
Yes,
That's real. That's real.
Okay, so we're getting almost 1/4 of the list, and everything seems somewhat true. Destiny 2, yes, we've just seen it. We know that's going to be on their stage. They have the exclusives. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. Do we have any information?
That's real. They showed that.
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay. Crash Bandicoot and Theme
that's
Trilogy.
Sure.
I don't know. Did we hear any Crash Team
real.
Racing?
That's the trilogy. That's the
Lord
trilogy.
King just likes that real phrase that he keeps saying.
No,
Crash Team Racing, we've heard nothing.
Let's stop at the Crash Bandicoot real quick. You're gonna tell me that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is not real?
Do we know?
Yeah, that's all three games. That's all three games in the trilogy. That's a remake.
Okay, but they have announced a Crash game, right?
That's official.
But is it that a trilogy?
Yeah, that's the game. That's the trilogy.
I thought that game already out.
Exactly.
I don't know. Don't know about
that. This Crash Team Racing is where I'm like, this is fake.
That's where they lost me.
So time out. I'm
time out.
Right okay, so you mean to tell me Death Stranding, Project Oscar is a sucker punch game? That's they already said they was making a game. God of War, we already know that. Days are Gone, we already know that. Dreams VR, they need a VR game.
Project Oscar, I got a question mark with you though. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, but that's just a trailer. Okay. Right, okay, so Uncharted, we already know that's real. Destiny 2, we know that's real. Marvel versus Capcom, we know that's real.
Yes.
Crash Bandicoot, that's a trilogy that they've been showing gameplay that you can pull up right now on internet. Crash Team Racing, we have no idea if it's real or if it's fake.
All right, now we got Call of Duty Chemical Warfare. We know the name is wrong because it look like it's they're going. I mean, we don't necessarily mean that it's wrong, but we know there's a Call of Duty coming. They're going back to World War or whatever. They're doing the battlefield basically. They're basically mimicking the battlefield formula, going back to the World War II or whatever it is it may be. So possibility, but just a technicality with the name.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know. Final Fantasy remake.
No, Kingdom Hearts 3 is ready. That's already. That's official.
That's out?
Yeah, that's official.
All right. And then we got Battlefront 2. See, they lost me with that because doesn't Microsoft have the marketing with that one?
For Battlefront 2?
Yeah, or does I'm not sure. That I gotta find out.
Right.
Is Battlefront, who has the marketing for Battlefront? You know that, Lord Addict? If it's
I think it's Sony.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So so maybe so we're about 80%. Looks like so far it's leading Lord King, Lord Sovereign's way. Assassin's Creed Empire. Do we feel a new Assassin's Creed game will be shown?
Yes.
Okay. Spider-Man, they showed a gameplay trailer before. When's the movie? When's the movie coming?
What, the Spider-Man movie?
Homecoming.
This year? The summer?
Yeah.
This year? Is it July?
Yeah, it's in July. But we already saw that game is made by Sucker Punch. We already know that's official.
No, that is correct. And it would make sense from the standpoint the movie's very close, would be the month after E3. And it's a
all
possibility.
this stuff is confirmed stuff.
He said it's
like
Resistance.
I
don't know.
The Resistance. People are having issue with 2 games on this list.
4.
Crash Team Racing and
Project Oscar.
No, okay. Project Oscar is not the name of the game.
I know it's just some random.
Right. So Project Oscar can be some indie crap that they developing in the corner. We don't know.
Right. Then we got Resistance 4.
Right. I believe so. And I believe that's a franchise that they was working on. I love that franchise.
Then we got Gran Turismo Sport.
We know that.
Any information on Gran Turismo Sport?
Yeah, they actually have a beta up running now. Okay.
Next. Bloodborne 2. I don't know. I think that may be too soon.
There's probably be some DLC. Yeah.
DLC
so,
like
they're
2 years after the game came out?
They're talking part 2, a sequel, Bloodborne Zone 2 sequel.
Well, it could be in the vein of
look at
Uncharted.
It clearly says Bloodborne 2 DLC. It doesn't say Bloodborne DLC.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's say they give you an announcement and there's a trailer and it's gonna be like the Destiny reveal trailer that you got, Mr. CGI. Did you see a game? No, you didn't. You saw a CGI trailer, right? They whipped that together and they threw that up. Sony gonna whip this whole list together and throw that up. And then what y'all gonna say? Like, this is for real.
Well, I'm gonna have this. Well, we have already promised the Lords will be doing a live stream during the Sony.
That's right. And I'm gonna be.
And we will be referring. Me and Lord Addy will be referring to this list in the notes.
Yo, I want y'all to tune in to see Lord King do the shmoney game when his list is right. Y'all don't understand. Sony coming. They coming.
And the final one is Red Dead Redemption 2, which we know
that.
Got to be true.
So what are you? This is 90% confirmed.
70% confirmed.
I just think it's a reach for all of that at one E3.
Yeah, but I mean, to Lord King's point, if it is true, they would have to do something to offset
Lord
Cognito
Cognito.
narrative.
Lord Cognito.
Talk to me, Lord King.
Let me ask you a question. How long is people's sizzle reels?
Maybe 1 to 3 minutes. They're not long.
Yeah, they're not long at all, right? And in sizzle reels, how many games do they show?
It depends. I've seen formats where they can pack in a bunch, or they can just go back to back.
What's the most you've ever seen in a sizzle reel? You estimate.
Damn. I'm trying to remember. What didn't they do a sizzle reel last time when Scorpio got announced and that was supposed to be the PS4 Pro segment and they kind of remixed the sizzle reel at the end?
Let's check this out. Let's not even do Sony. Let's do a Microsoft sizzle reel. Remember the summer of Sizzle? Remember that?
Yeah.
With all the indie games, and they show Cuphead.
Right. The only thing is a AAA title. I've never seen a sizzle reel with AAA title.
Let's just go with this. Let's go with Cuphead. Let's go with Cuphead. Let's go with Cuphead. If Microsoft put out a list and Cuphead was on that list, y'all gotta see it's not confirmed. Like, no, it's confirmed. See, what people is having a problem with is time, duration of the list. I think the people that leaked this list should have never put the time on the corner. They should have just released the list with the name and let people debate that right there, because it gives credence to allow people to say, yo, they're not gonna take time 3 minutes on this, and they're not gonna take 4 minutes on this. And if they took 5 minutes on this, the show would be 20 hours long. Okay. Let's cut that whole time off. Let's throw a sizzle reel together of these games, announcing the names and stuff like that. And in that time frame that they released that sizzle reel with all those games, because they don't have a kart racing game, so Crash Team Kart Racing, because Switch just put out what
they
is
got
that?
Mario Kart at the end of the month.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you have a kart racing game? Whip that up, please.
It sounds nice. I don't know if it's real. It sounds nice though.
First-person game this year from their own.
It sounds like a Mark Cerny in theory kind of situation.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what they don't have up there? They don't have that Mark Cerny crappy game on Knack 2 up there, and that's official.
We'll see.
They got more games. They got more games than that list even indicates. And that's the
absolutely.
scary part.
No, absolutely. They definitely can do. I mean, one thing we have to admit is that, Sony is very good as far as their E3 press conference with presentation and trailers and getting the hype level going, even if there is not necessarily an immediate release date for this year. Shout out to Lord Dizzy, because he just made a point right now in the chat, and he's saying for Scorpio, He said, do you think that Microsoft could show anything at E3 that we can expect to be released in 27? And he said, and if not, 2017, they said, if not, how much buying power would Scorpio have when the console releases with nothing, so to speak, new in just multiplats?
Well,
Like,
we
what's
know
about
that 2 games are Microsoft exclusives. The Forza 7
Forza
and
7, Crackdown,
and the
State of
Crackdown
Decay.
and the State
Yeah,
of
we
Decay
figure those
2.
3. Crackdown's a question mark, but we figured at least Forza,
I think
Sea
Crackdown
of
is coming with
Thieves,
it. Oh yeah, and Sea of
possible.
Thieves.
Sea
Yeah,
of Thieves, right?
Sea of Thieves.
State of Decay 2. Me personally, let me and Lord Alex talk about. I'm kind of hyped for State of Decay 2 on the low. I thought State of Decay was a sleeper, and now that it's confirmed Scorpio 4K power, and they talking about like a cooperative Walking Dead style game, I think that's a sleep on. That's just me personally. I think a lot of people are kind of brushing off State of Decay 2 as if, okay, kind of been there and done that. But I love that game. If they really just up, like
Hype
maybe
it up and do everything that you wanted.
yeah. And it's me and you on some Walking Dead and the resources, and we build an outpost, and it could be lit to me. But anyway, continue. Okay.
Yes. I honestly believe that they're gonna have 4 titles, and usually a system, has no more than 4 exclusive titles during their release period. You can say you can look over at the Switch that recently have just done that with a triple A title in Zelda. So and Microsoft's AAA title, which will be the Forza, which actually they launch with, they sell, and they noticed that has been successful for them. Also in displaying the power of the system. A driving game can really display your power up front immediately for the masses.
Oh yeah,
To see.
Completely built for that. Yep. Completely.
And that's to get the UK contention to back it because they're heavy into driving. So I honestly believe that it's geared towards them to get them in, and then Crackdown for us Americans.
Lord Attic,
and the diehards. Yeah.
Wanted to jump in real quick. What did you feel about Lord Dizzy's question in reference to do they how much buying power do you think Scorpio will have if it's not a lot of exclusives in 2017? Like, let's say they even announce stuff that's exclusive, but let's say it comes out 2018 or to be announced. What do you think about that, Lord?
To be honest, I kind of feel like they could really do anything they want because people are going to be so hyped for the actual console itself. Like, this is only appealing to hardcore fans, and only fans of Xbox and fanboys are going to be picking this up on day one. I don't see no casuals, a whole lot of casuals picking this up this year. So, like, obviously, any fanboy, they don't care. They'll damage control their way out of a paper bag when it comes to this thing. So, that's whatever. And when it comes to, just fans like, us, I would want more, but I think it's foolish to get your expectations so high when you know that the biggest thing that's coming out this year is the Scorpio. Like, I do think they're going to have something at E3 that's going to, really push it, but I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of games, for say.
Okay. So you think more so they're going to stick with the strategy of the multiplats being, the Scorpio version being the superior version graphically?
I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I think they're going to be pushing. I do think they're going to bundle the Scorpio around holiday. I do think they are. And I think they're going to go on that real slide marketing that they've done in the past where it's like, we might not have the marketing deal for Call of Duty, for Red Dead Redemption, but we're going to throw the Scorpio out there with pick any of your own game and pretty much make an incognito bundle with these games when it's not really a bundle. It's like you pick your own game, but we're going to ironically drop this bundle out on the same day Call of Duty comes out.
Got you. I hear you. Now, back to the original topic, which was Lord King's topic with Sony's E3 strategy. Lord Attic, what do you feel Sony needs to do? I know how you feel about the list, but what do you feel about what do they need to do for them to counter Microsoft and the Scorpio?
I don't even think it really matters. I mean, even if Sony like just straight up balls this year, like I don't see Microsoft coming to the table with anything extremely significant to take the shine off of PlayStation, because we know they're going to come out there with something. I mean, PlayStation Sony ain't going to come out there and not announce anything. They're going to show iconic franchises like God of War, and it's going to take the shine off of Scorpio. I do think that's one of the reasons that they jumped their time ahead of day, is because, I mean, let's be real here. They're the market share. They have the most fans that's right now. So, you know, it takes something big, real big, to take the shine off of Sony.
But
I got a point with you. Go ahead, looking.
I just want to say, I'm tired of the rhetoric of them being the market share leaders, right? Because
they are, Lord King.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
55 million.
This is true. But I think it comes from, I need a system to run my movies and to play my games. I think they sell to that person, right? And that person doesn't buy games, probably buy 1 or 2 games a year. That's why their games aren't selling in the same fashion as a dedicated system as far as like the Switch. Let's use the Switch. That doesn't have any multimedia functions to it at all. Nothing. It's just, you
can kind of make the argument that Xbox is the multimedia platform and Sony actually kind of lags behind, because a lot of the Sony guys are like, we get our selfish one-player experiences. You know, most of the exclusives lately have tend to be not multiplayer games, like one-player games.
What I mean by saying this, right? Let's say you take the PlayStation fan base, right, and you say you have that, slice it in half, and those are the hardcore guys, right? The other guys were the whatchamacallit, how can you say, the casual gamers. Those guys that pick up 1 or 2 games. Oh, what game is that? Put it in a box, I'll take it. You got Madden? Okay, cool. That
Madden,
guy.
COD guys, the dude bros.
Right. So then you got the other guys that actually go out and buy 6 or 7 games in 2 months. You know, those guys that's hard. I gotta finish this. I gotta get my clan. I got this. I got that. I'm heavy on this. You got those guys. Microsoft has the same amount of guys like that. But let's just say, I think Microsoft casual user base is lower, and we're not selling to the casual fan. We're selling to the hardcore, addicts, the people that want to play video games, and then we're starting to sell to the techies that want that 4K to go with their television.
Phil Spencer, you're right. Phil Spencer did say he's catering. This is for the elite or hardcore gamer who wants a premium experience, kind of up your alley. Yeah.
He's talking to me. So Sony, like when Lord Addict just said, they're gonna put their games out, and that God of War, that's a game. That's game. That's game of the year.
Looks good to me.
Right there. That's that game right there. That's their flagship. And that's gonna sell some systems, because you got people that's still out there just waiting for the new God of War. Does it take the luster off of a new system? I don't think so.
That's the question. That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think God of War, even if it came out date to date to a system, it won't take the luster off the system, because whatever the allotment for the Scorpios, I believe that they're going to sell through for the year.
Here's the counterpoint, though, that I do see what Lord Attic is saying, is that I forgot which E3 was it. Wasn't last year's. What was the E3, which was like from Sony's press conference, which was like Shenmue, Final Fantasy, whatever. And people were like crying.
2015.
Right. So I remember specifically, and people were like, Microsoft had games that came out all that year. They had like a great show. It was pretty solid. A lot of gameplay stuff that was really being released that year. Sony had that press conference, which were like amazing games that they announced, right? That people were very hyped about. And I remember, people saying clearly like Sony dominated the press conference. And then I remember taking a screenshot at the end of the Sony press conference, and you looked at the list of the games they actually showed, and none of them, maybe 90%, let's say 80%, did not release, where it had a to be announced release date where you didn't even know when it was coming out, or it would be like the following year or 2 years from down the road. But the mind share was that Sony won the show, even though games were not releasing that year. So I'm curious to see if let's say your list is true, Lord King.
Yep.
And they knock it out the park with all these bombastic announcements, right?
Mm-hmm.
The narrative could go again and say, people could say, well, look at all this, Sony's killing it, and even though Microsoft has a system that's out now, with power, with games, that people could be, I don't want to say bamboozled, but people could be overwhelmed with emotion. They could be, creatures of the moment, and just listen to it. So what do you feel about that?
Okay, this lends to my list being real. Remember, if somebody
that's how they steal it.
If somebody would have told you, if the list would have dropped that year ahead of time, you'd have saw Shenmue on that list. You'd have said, "Shut your mouth, they're lying." You would have said that.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
what is
right.
more far-fetched, Crash Team Racing or Shenmue?
Or Shenmue. No, you're right. I can't. King, you got me. I put my hands up.
Yeah,
you got me. I cannot dispute it. If you would have gave me that list that they announced, that year with Shenmue, the Final Fantasy remake, I believe was that year.
Come on, man, this is really happening.
Were in their fields. It was a very emotional E3. These were beloved games, and you're right. If that list is true, they will steal the mind share. Once again, even if we have no release date, even if we have another Kickstarter, Shenmue,
they showed you video of old Shenmue. It said, "Yeah, baby, yeah," and people started crying. And then at the end, to turn the knife in and to flick it, they said, "Yeah, we're starting to Kickstarter, so get your money together if you want this." They're gonna do it. They're gonna do hurtful things to you, and you're gonna take it.
You're on this, though, Lord King. And I'm not gonna say I'm all the way seeing the light of Lord King, but I got my third eye open on you right now. I see when you try to open my third eye, and I see what you're doing.
Listen, that list is so real.
Here's the thing, though. I wanted to bring to the point as far as the last point with Sony, as far as the E3 conference strategy, is that this is what I think could really be detrimental. And I think me and Lord Addict have also talked about, so I haven't had a chance to talk to you, Lord King, about, is that what I feel, which would really put the knife in to Microsoft, not only if they do this bombastic list, right? Get everybody in their fields. To me, if they say, by the way, the PlayStation Pro is now $300 or $350.
They're gonna drop the price.
If they drop the price right in conjunction, because at that point they'll know when Scorpio's release date is,
and
right?
What the price is,
and they'll know what the price is. So they are the king. We gotta give Sony this, because they always go second.
And they're gonna drop it. They're gonna drop the price a week before the Scorpio comes out.
Exactly. They can be foul and be like, whatever your day is, you're dropping. We're dropping our price. Now, what the consumer gonna do? You see what I'm saying? And that's actually my biggest fear for Scorpio, because people can be like, well, our stuff looks just as good. We got the checkerboard, we got 4K as well. Not everybody knows the specifics. As the hardcore guys, like the HDRs and running 4K. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, oh, we do it too. And that is that to me is the biggest hurdle I think Microsoft has to go through, because if Scorpio is as powerful as Phil is saying it is, and let's just say, for all intents and purposes, my dream of a $400 machine looks like it's out of it. Right. So let's say it's more likely 5, right? 5 to the 6 range.
$499.
Right. So if that's the case, and if it's truly this 4K beast, now you got I don't want to call it the semi 4K or the pseudo 4K with the Pro, but you got a 4K capable machine.
No, you got a pseudo 4K, like you said.
Okay. I'll go with Lord King.
I have it, so I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna vouch for the 4K notness.
Right. And let's just say there's another rumor going out, that there's a possible PS4 Pro Slim. I don't know how true this rumor is. Again, this is all speculation. This is all rumor.
To drop price.
Right. So if they put that at a new price, it's kind of enticing, man.
Okay.
It's kind of good.
Lord Addy, you want to jump in on this, because I got a tangent.
No comment.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you,
good.
Blood Addict. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Oh,
Yes, King in the film. Now let me explain how we already know Sony's going to drop the price. We already know Microsoft is going to put their price at probably $500, $499, whatever. It's going to be higher than whatever the Pro is. We know Sony is going to drop the price on a Pro. What position does that put PlayStation 5?
Okay. Good question. Good question. I think that right now, because Sony, my answer to it is that right now, because Sony is such the market leader, that it would be foolhardy for them to initiate. Like they're in no position to start a new generation yet, because they're so successful right now. To me, that would completely. I mean, the Pro got a little backlash. Remember when it got announced? People were like, "Oh, I don't really need this." You know what I'm saying? I don't have a 4K. Yada yada yada. It was a mixed review when the Pro got revealed. So a lot is now riding on the success of PlayStation right now. There's no need for them to do the jump. They can ride this wave out. They're the market leader. You know, the hardware install base. You know, there's no need for the jump. So in reference to 5. I still think we're a ways away. I mean, at earliest, my guess would be 2019.
Okay.
I can't see them. I think they got another 2 years going right now of a good run. Okay.
Lord Addict, what do you think the Scorpio does to the positioning of the PlayStation 5 and the lowering of the Pro price?
That if Scorpio, if they do come out and say that Scorpio is next generation, I think that Sony about to up their PlayStation 5 plans drastically, because you can't let the competition have the next gen console out for like 2 years before yours drops. But it's like I said, I don't think it's a next generation. If it is, like it's like Lord King said, like Sony will respond with the PS5 in the next year to 2. Like mad fast, like I mean,
they would have to stop the momentum. Absolutely.
The only console that I saw that was prepared to come out at launch with this gen was the PS4. Like the Xbox One was clearly not ready. You know, when it first launched, they pushed it up to compete with the PS4. So obviously,
honestly not ready. But
PS4 wasn't ready, but PS4 was more ready than Xbox One was. You couldn't snap friends, not even not even your friends. The notification pop up shit was functional
from
on launch.
From a UI standpoint,
it was completely a disaster. So you know, there's going to be a cause and effect. If they announce that Scorpio is their next gen console, there will be some kind of, and you know, people that sell PlayStation is you know, top dog. If there is just a PlayStation's not going to let someone be out for 2 years with the next gen console. You know, obviously in 2 years, PlayStation can drop something just as strong, but by then it's the same thing that was going to happen. You know, they're going for 2 years. They're going to plead. They're the strongest. They're the most capable. They have the better platform. They're not going to let that happen.
But here's the thing. I hear what you're saying, but you're right. I mean, I can see Sony saying, you know what, we can't allow them. That's 2 years is too long. But then again, I mean, we just when was PS4 Pro announced? Just last year, right? So let's just say, in theory,
I'm with you, 2020, 2019, but I don't see the Scorpio being the next gen. I just don't.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's either this a new adaptation of mid-console refresh, or is it we're going full on, kind of thing. And it's going to be interesting to see that strategy. I guess my opinion is just from the standpoint of, Sony's just so successful right now. So why would you upset your base by making the new system so fast? That's just me. But
I don't think they can. I think that puts them in a bad position. Just like you said, Lord, I believe it puts them in a terrible position. In the standpoint as we're so successful, I think that success is the Achilles heel.
Whereas Microsoft is kind of the opposite. It's like, okay, we are losing. We are not going to catch up to Sony. The lead is too big.
We're not as successful.
Right, good point. They're
Right.
successful
Yeah,
from the outpacing the 360. You are correct, Lord K.
Yeah.
They're outpacing the 360 by far, but from with the competition is looking towards beating Sony from where they at from a
Right. It's impossible, and
yeah,
they
they're not
don't
gonna
have.
catch it.
Microsoft
Right.
will never sit there and play the long con. You know, a PlayStation, a hardware company will play the long con because they know the averages will average out. Like the PlayStation 3 finally caught up to the 360 at the end of the life cycle. Microsoft doesn't play that because they're a software company. So software companies has a different mindset. Their mindset is more of update, refresh, get out the door type of thing. And I see that happening with Scorpio. And I kind of refute what Lord Attic says when he says that he doesn't believe Scorpio to be the next generation. Actually, I believe the Scorpio to be more capable of the next generation. I thought this generation was more half baked. So I believe that the Scorpio is a more thought out approach to the generational gap. And what Microsoft has adopted is we're going to take our software, being that we're a software company, and we're going to make it playable along our long line of products.
The vibe. I agree with you, Lil King. I think the vibe I'm getting from Microsoft is you're almost taking like a phone approach. You know, like you know how the iPhone, which is like, you know, we're not leaving you old guys behind right now, so to speak. But you know, if on the newer phone, you know, everything's gonna look better. Everything's gonna be more powerful. You know, you're gonna be able to do a little bit more. And for the guys who are not ready, you know, you still can play, you know, these existing games kind of thing. So I think that may be just something that we're not used to from a console perspective.
Yes.
But yeah.
Console, yes.
This is good stuff. It's gonna be interesting. We got E3, we got Scorpio reveals, we got Sony strategy countering. It's gonna be really, really fun. So I wanted to move on. If the Lord's got everything off on that, and talk about our next topic, which would be maybe rest in peace GameStop. Lord Attic, what do you got to say about this?
Yes.
Could this be it for? Could we be over?
Well, you know, obviously digital sales, Amazon, all this, they've really impacted, you know, GameStop, Game Pass as well, but that's not out. So I don't think that. I think Game Pass itself being announced destroyed the shares, but even without Game Pass, it might have took longer, but the writing's been on the wall. Even GameStop, you know, higher up management has realized this. That's why they've went down to selling phones. You know, they've partnered up with companies like Cricket. So I could see this completely happening. And, you know, a lot of people want to, you know, they want to say that it's been more on Amazon. I do think Amazon's hurt GameStop a lot.
Amazon done a lot.
But the thing is Amazon is still selling physical media. And I think at the end of the day, that physical media ends up right back at GameStop. So I don't think it's mainly on Amazon that's hurting GameStop, because they don't get a whole lot of money from selling new games. It's like it's like 5 or 10%. You know, they're pretty much just like taking a little bit of the cut. If you buy stuff from Amazon, chances are you're going to show right back up to GameStop, because you're not going to trade it back to Amazon. You could buy stuff at Amazon because you get it pretty much. You get it the day one it comes out. You know, so it doesn't really affect you, but you don't want to trade stuff back into Amazon because you got that in your hand. You want that new game. You know, you're done with it.
You know, Amazon does buyback. They have a buyback program.
Well, they buy it back, but a lot of people want it. They want to trade their stuff in right then and there and get the new stuff right then and there. So, you know,
I can give you a different perspective, but go ahead, Jai.
So I think I think digital sales is hurting GameStop a lot more now, because you could see clearly that, you know, you go into GameStop, the shelves are empty compared to last gen. There's half of the games there. You know, it used to be you went to GameStop, there's like 5 or 6 Call of Duties. Now it's like 1 or 2. You know, they've had to redisplay how they display games. They used to have it, you know, facing sideways so they can fit more games. Now they're facing it frontwards, where you can see the front of the case, because there's not as many games to show. And I've worked in retail. It's all about how you display your product. So they have to make it look better. So, you know, they've said they're closing 240 GameStop's closing down. I think they have like 7,000 or 8,000 in all. So it's a small percentage. I think they said it's like 6% or 4 or 5%. So it's not the end of the world now. But I think I think right now Game Pass is just the beginning to this subscription thing. I think Ubisoft, Activision, all of them are going to jump on this eventually. And when we see more of these services pop up, I think every time one of these subscriptions pop up, it cuts GameStop's lifespan in half.
Oh,
yeah. Jumping in?
Yeah, I'm going to give you where the genesis of this whole thing started from. The genesis and the demise of GameStop started way before all of that. It started with GameFly. Once GameFly was introduced, it gave you a cheaper alternative to playing the games that you wanted at a discount price. You got to test it. And a lot of people were going inside GameStop and purchasing games and weren't happy with it. And then the resale value of said game that you purchased 5 minutes ago was drastically reduced to the pebbles. You brought a boulder and you walked out to the parking lot and you put it inside and you played it. And he's like, it sucks. And you came right back in and was like, no, I'll take the Call of Duty instead, sir. Okay, we're going to give you $10 credit for this. Excuse me? I just gave you $59.50. No. Yeah. So that was with the demise.
Yeah, and a fun fact, I remember when Resident Evil 5 came out, I had to just shits and giggles. Like, I was like, yeah, I want to trade this in. Literally, day one purchase. And the dude was like, what? Excuse me? And I was like, I just want to trade it in. And he's like, first off, I can't take it because it's in the case. If the plastic's on that, they won't take a game back. So I was like, okay. I was like, theoretically, if I want to trade this, I'm just curious. They were offering me like $24, and it just came out.
Yep. Lord King is not about that.
And then they're just going to turn that around, put a $55 price tag on, put it up on the shelf.
Yes. Oh, okay. So that started the jadedness, and with them, you started getting the ire of the public, and then it started with streaming companies to stream games. And we had a couple. We played them, and we were like, "Oh, that's nice. You get a bunch of games for a different price." And little by little, the stock started dropping with GameStop. Then Amazon started saying, "Hey, you can get the systems day and date of release."
Yep.
Why do I need to go stand on the line?
Yep.
And be self-promotion for GameStop? Because GameStop takes pictures of all of us standing outside to build up the hype and to make you feel a part of a group. Hey, I want to be part of that late night out there with the people mixing it up. Getting myself done. No, I want to be part of the people sleeping in my bed, and my system comes at the door, and I pick it up and I put it inside the house, and I go about my business, and I don't have to worry about being robbed and murdered.
You ain't with the jokes? You ain't with the jokes?
No. Hey. Cognito, Lord Cognito, you know what happened that day with the PlayStation 2. Me and you, we were in the streets.
Bad. Yeah, it was bad in them streets. It was really bad, And I think you nailed it with the midnight launch. I mean, I know that's what kind of all that stuff, got me away from that. And you got sites like Amazon, and I mean, shout out to even Best Buy too. I think got the Switch. Yeah, straight delivered to the house, or you can have it where it's delivered to the store if you don't, you don't want it mailed to you. You could do so many options, but continue looking. I didn't want to cut you.
Right. So the downward spiral started from there, screwing over the public. I thought the real nail in the coffin, and I know Lord Addict said, they announced the Game Pass. I thought the real nail in the coffin was the expose that was put out on them with that Circle of Life crap.
Yo, it's funny you said that, because shout out to Lord Dizzy. I was literally going to comment. He just put that in the chat, in the live chat, and he's saying he said how much did that hurt them? He said shares were going down, and now people seeing those dirty tactics and them trying to force use copies and stuff like that. That's a huge one. Yes,
it took away the. Let's say if it's pros and cons, and you have people standing on the pros of it, it took away their argument. Whatever argument, they're not into dirty tactics. No way. They upstairs. What? The video's out. Yes, the video's out. We got them. Dead device. They're lying. So now you sit there, you say, well, do I stick with them? No, you don't stick with them. You let them burn like Blockbuster did. Let that dumpster fire burn out, and let's move on. Let's move into the next generation where everything is digitally downloaded and you can play it anywhere. The same place Microsoft has been pushing us, and we've been screaming, kicking, and yelling, trying not to go in this direction.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The irony of it is kind of funny. Yeah. It's ironic. Yeah, I mean, if I want to jump in on this too. It's just like, it's just a perfect storm. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, outside of, you got Circle of Life, you know, that expose that definitely hurt them negatively from a public standpoint. I believe CEO, one of those guys, had to make a public statement in reference to it. That's never good. You know, I got inside information on them. I have people who actually were interested in, some colleagues of mine, to work, you know, for GameStop from a buying standpoint. And, you know, they're doing a whole marketing shift. Their whole thing is now is, you know, if you look, Lord King, you know, when you from New York area, you know, if you remember the big GameStop 34th Street, remember that was like one of the big flag street, not remember across from the Macy's over that one? Remember the big one? Okay, now if you go to the stores, you'll see it's GameStop / ThinkGeek.
Yep.
And ThinkGeek is this new thing they're trying to force in, where it's like, you know, geek clothing, video game wear, like all, you know, toys. So it's like they're closing stores that's not profitable, and in conjunction trying to move this new direction with gear and stuff. So to me, the writing was on the wall, because one of my boys, like I said, I got an inside source, was, you know, applying for them for a big time job with them, and he was telling me, he was like, oh no, they're going ThinkGeek. Like they're going to open up all these ThinkGeek stores, and, you know, this is the new wave.
Loot Crate.
Right, because they know the used industry market, it's bleeding them right now, and with digital,
they're going into self-publishing too.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With digital being so prominent, I mean, think about the last 2 years. I've now mentally gotten to the point where it's like, say if there's a game I'm on the fence with, I'm like, I know, you know, Xbox or, you know, Sony's going to do that, you know, fall sale, right?
Yep.
And they're going to be like 30-50% off. Then you got, you know, these games with gold discounts, PS4 discount, PS4 now, PlayStation Now discounts. It's so many discounts, and you're doing it from the convenience in your house. So then I said to myself, okay, so all right, I'll just go to GameStop for accessories and systems. But you kind of don't need to do that either. Like you kind of just Amazon it to your house, Best Buy it to your house. So they're really, I think it's just the perfect storm of all these things happening to them. And, you know, obviously Game Pass didn't help. They tried to announce some similar program GameStop they were offering with used games. I thought was kind of funny, the day like after or the week Game Pass was announced. They're in trouble. And I think right now it could be one of those things, you know, Lord Addict, where in Lord King, it's just that it could be, you know, 5 years from now. I think I was having this conversation with Lord Sinister, you know, in the chat, and we were like, it could be one of them things you're telling your kid, like, yeah, we used to do this thing called GameStop, and we used to stand out online, and you know what I'm saying, and I don't know. You know, I don't know. Shout out to Lord Disney saying GameStop could win us back, offer digital codes to games inside of the collector's edition, offering exclusive goodies for them. I don't know, man.
You're disillusional. It's over.
It just seems, it feels it. For the first time, and I know what people say for a long time. Lord Attic, you want to jump in?
No,
okay.
That was me.
Okay.
That was you. Yeah. I'm going to GameStop right now. Literally, my son and I are going to jump in the car after the podcast, and I'm going to go buy a Doctor Strange statue. I'm not buying a game.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. I mean, honestly, I went to GameStop. The last time I went was either to reserve some ridiculous collector's edition that goes out fast online, right? Or the last purchase I went was the Breath of the Wild amiibo.
Yeah, those amiibos are nice.
Yeah, you know, we did a time on the amiibos a couple of ILP podcasts ago. We know the power of those with Zelda. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking good, man.
You going there for the things other than games?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You agree? You thinking it might be? How much longer you
I
giving it?
think 5 to
2
7
years.
years.
2 years.
Oh, you think? Oh, wow, you still think you got them holding on a little bit longer?
They got enough money to hold off.
2 years.
The King's like 2 years.
2 years.
That's it.
The physical media is still very dominant. They'll be around for a while. Now,
Well, that's in their favor.
are they willing to just call it quits and not put money into a dying brand? Is the better question.
The
I
vibe I'm
think they
getting.
become kiosks.
You go red boxes.
I think they become kiosks where you go, because they have kiosks set up now where you can sell your cell phones, right? And I was looking at it the other day, and I said, okay, this is where they can save money on, because a lot of time you spend money on physical locations and you spend money on employees. You can save all that money in maintenance and
You're right.
servicing, right?
You're actually right. You're right, because my boy's a buyer, and he's telling me, like, in retail, the days of these big storefronts is over.
It's over.
Like, yeah, it's a waste of money. It's not financially,
Viable.
it's not really smart for a company to do it these days.
So what happens now is they put up these kiosks where they have new games. You can purchase new games, or you can purchase used games, and you can trade in your used game. The kiosk will take the game, read the game, see that the game doesn't have any scratches, whatever, and give you trade credit towards whatever game that you want to purchase that's inside of the kiosk. That's the only way GameStop will survive.
We gotta see. We gotta see if they hold on. Maybe Think Geek saves them. Who knows?
2 years.
He said 2 years. we gotta record this one and come back and play the tape and see what happens with
That's right. What we're in 2017, right? 2019, they closed more than 50% of their stores, and they're moving in a different direction.
Well, it might be already happening. Like I said, I mean, that's what it seems like they're doing now. They're already going to look at stores that are not profitable.
Yeah.
And they're going to close those stores. That's a fact. They've already kind of come out and said that, stocks. And then we do know Think Geek is the direction. That is definitely, I've got a fact from an inside source. That's what they do.
I can give you a higher statistic.
What you think?
Remember when every GameStop on every system launch was open for a midnight launch?
Yes.
They're not doing that anymore.
They're not doing it anymore. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm noticing now certain GameStop are saying, hey, yeah, we're not doing a launch. And I'm like, wow, that would never happen. Like, especially with a big release.
And I found out why.
Talk to me.
They do not want to pay the overtime that it would take for them to keep the store open past working hours, another 6 to 7 hours, and pay the employees and the security for that. They said no. They can pick the system up in the morning. And that's when Amazon comes in and Amazon wins. Because Amazon say, hey, we do the same exact thing, and you can stay in the comfort of your home.
Valid point. As long as the same thing with digital sales too. I mean, download. You don't have to be online midnight. Midnight it goes live on the digital server, and people are downloading and playing in their house. So
yeah.
I
was pissed off when I had to wait for my physical copy from GameStop. It was 1 year, and I saw you live playing the game at night. I was in my house on fire. I turned my system off and I went to bed because I had no other choice but to go to sleep and know that you were having so much fun, and you were so far ahead of me by the time I got my physical copy the next day from
the you're right.
GameStop.
You're right, man. I mean, I see it. I see it firsthand when people are just like, hey, I'm gonna download that digital. And then we get one of the biggest thing, game sharing.
Yeah,
like game sharing is huge. And now that Microsoft is admitting, I mean, not admitting it, but actually officially announcing it as part of a feature. They're actually getting behind it again. It's like, what the other incentive? Like you and your man can purchase a game, share a library. That's huge.
Yep.
That's huge.
Cut down on the other purchase, 2 purchases. You don't have to
cut down on 2 purchases. Yeah. So, but on that note, so we got on GameStop, and good show. It's good to be back in the mix. So Lord King, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Real King David OTW. You can find me on Twitter on King David OTW. You can find me on Xbox Live King David OTW, and you can find me on PlayStation Network on Xbox 360 Lover.
That name is savage. That name is so savage.
And soon the Bearded Brothers podcast.
Yes, sir.
Podcast near you.
And of course, I'm brother from another mother, Lord Addict. What's going on with you? Where can the people find you? What else is going on with you?
You can find me on YouTube, Gaming Addict. Find me on Twitter. I think it's Lord Addict ILP. I don't know. It might be Gaming Addict ILP. You can find me on Xbox Live, PlayStation, and at Room to Kill. That's my gamer tag and my PSN. I ain't on PlayStation a whole lot. I do have a Vita. But you can
you still got one of those?
Yeah, you can, and Switch, Room to Kill.
Switch good.
Yeah, but I ain't giving you that social security stuff. And you can find me on Steam at Gaming Addict.
Nice.
But I do appreciate you guys working with us for the past couple weeks. We've had technical issues. I did fix all the hyperlinks in the description to everyone's correct social media. That's what I've been doing. I know I've been kind of quiet and kind of tired too. But definitely catch me on my YouTube channel. I post pretty regular content on there. You know,
yeah, man.
Lord Cognito and both Lord Kings both been on my Addict shows. But thanks for watching.
Shout out Requeno right now. He said Lords is in the building. My man Sinister's in the building. Before we close, I just want to give a shout out to him real quick. Yeah, definitely, not to cut you, Lord, I appreciate all you guys sticking with us. We had to, rest in peace, give our condolences to Skype. We're no longer dealing with them ever again. And for the guys that that stuck with us, we really appreciate you. We're hearing better feedback quality. We're not trying to get out of our mom's basement. Lord Sinister said you could catch him online on the raid. We got you, Lord Sid. You know what I'm saying? And this is Lord Cognito here. Also catch me on Twitter. You already know Lord Cognito. Xbox is Cognito, and PSN is Cognito 360. Switch, we're not giving out those sensitive details. It's too much. Nintendo right now, man. It's too much. Lord Dizzy, catch me outside. How about that? I see you, Lord Dizzy. But like I said, appreciate you sticking with us. We got a lot of things cooking now that we got all this audio garbage behind us. We are going to be hitting you in the head with a lot of content, great guests. Things are going to be bubbling, and it's on. We still the best podcast you never heard, and we got a lot of things going. Wait till E3. You guys are going to be surprised. We got some things cooking out there, too. But I'm giving it back to you, Lord Addict, and you're going to say you're closing things out and peace us out of here.
Like I said, thank you guys for staying with us. We'll definitely be on here. Now, since we got the audio issues, I'm looking into more guests, to get more of a variety of guests on here.
Mm-hmm.
I have been looking at the retention rate we have. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been watching a pretty decent amount of the podcast. This podcast. But it's like I said, we'll see you next week. We're gonna try to come up with a time to be consistent every week instead of being like 1 to 11 to 1. We're gonna try to everyone come together and have one specific time every week. Sorry that you guys missed Lord Sovereign. He had some personal issues he had to deal with. He'll be back next week. Yeah, Lord Sleet and Lord SWAT, they'll be back whenever they get back.
But like I said, there's always a round table seat for those lords.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We're definitely we're out of here.
Peace.